Hey guys, Big J here, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, with round 7 dusted and done and dusted, let's see how the team went. Hey, Josh Kelly. See you at North Melbourne next year. Oh. This week we scored 2,007 points. It was a pretty shit week. As you can see, I actually went down in the rankings, but my team value went up a little bit, so I'm happy. And I won 2 out of 3 leagues. So, it's not doing too bad. Our total score is 15,219. I think I'm about 150 to 200 points behind top 1,000, so it's not too bad. I can catch up pretty quick, and I think the next week's trades and the following weeks are going to really do that for me. I think at this point in time, depending on how the number of trades you've got in your team and your position of your team, it's worth holding until the bye rounds. Remember, you guys can actually use 3 trades in those buy rounds. So you're going to have a few players out, but you can imagine like a higher priced rookie like a Powell or a Warner or someone like that. You could potentially downgrade him and upgrade 2 players if you've got some cash. So let's just quickly look at the team. In the back line, so Stewart and Lloyd did alright. Short actually did really well. I'm glad he bounced back. Richmond had a killer game, especially in the second half. They just dominated, and I'm glad for it. Ridley did okay, and Laird basically the same as well. Adelaide got smashed, and hopefully it doesn't happen again this week, but you never know. And Giath. Bloody Giath, mate. I swear. His efficiency didn't go down, which is really interesting. He just didn't see much of the ball, and that happened a couple of weeks ago. So, considering what I'm going to do with him, he may end up just being bench cover at some point, but we'll see how we go. In the mids, so last week, well, I VC'd McRae, didn't do that well, actually went to the Captained Gawn, and you can see what happened. I think a lot of people did the same. 100 really just wasn't enough to hold. Should have gone Grundy, but I figured, I didn't want to waste all my VC options and my C options in the first 2 games of the week. It's a bit silly, but can't take it back now. So Walsh did really well. Glad we brought him in a couple of weeks ago. Oliver did Oliver things. Merritt, I'm a bit worried about him, but we've got him now, so he's going to end up being in the midfield mix anyway. And then Powell, Goulden. So Powell's a bit of a freak, guys. Don't know about it, but he's a bit of a freaky man. So scored another 97. His break even, I believe, let's just quickly check. His break even is a 20. So at 357k, I reckon he's going to jump at maybe, let's say if he gets another 90 score, another 90 plus, I reckon he's going to end up being about 450k by the time we drop him. And obviously that's a bit of a sideways trade to whoever you want, plus a rookie, or you could even just keep him on your bench as a bench rookie, and you could do a lot worse than a Tom Powell as a bench rookie. So it's interesting. See where the team goes with cash generation in the next couple of weeks, but see what happens. Goulden was okay. Glad I kept him. A lot better than Chapman, who I ended up trading out. I think in the previous video I actually traded out Rowe and kept Chapman, and ultimately that gave me about 15 points, but I wanted the extra cash. So it was about 30k trading Chapman out first, and then moving Laird back, and we've kept Rowe, but he's going to go this week, so no complaints. Jordan was really good against North, did really well, happy with a 91. I know some people traded him out 2 weeks ago when he was 200k, and we've already got 80k on him, so can't complain. Fife didn't play, is my loophole, and then Scott scored another 60. So Scott's really interesting. Few people have McNeil, but Scott's actually going to jump up a bit in price. So in the next couple of weeks, he should reach about 300k. I think that's about the average for a 60 odd average player. It's about 300k price wise. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But his DPP is really helping, and having a DPP dual position player, obviously that's mid forward. Having the ability to actually swap him around in different positions really helps. And I don't think you can go past a 60 odd rookie. In the first half, I believe he was on about 55 points, and then the Dogs just got slaughtered. So it seems like Scott's taking a bit of what was Dunkley's position, just to the number of contested possessions and everything he's getting, which is really good. And he's not a basic rookie, so he's not an 18, 19, 20-year-old. I believe he's actually, let's quickly check. Scott is a almost 26-year-old player, so he should stay in the side. It's not like he's got to rest too much. I know he had a big VFL career before coming into the AFL via the Dogs VFL, so yeah, he's doing really well. I don't see him not playing, which is what I'm trying to say. Unless injuries, of course, or someone comes in that pushes him out, but I don't think it's going to happen, especially with Dunkley now injured. McRae was pretty shit. I'm hoping he stays in this week. I know some people are relying on him not to have a donut, which is hilarious, but what can you do? I think he's just getting played out of position, but he might be like a Scott or a Jordan where they have a first couple of really bad games, and then people jump off him, and then he just starts to price right. Because all he needs is a 50 or a 60, which isn't unattainable considering how well he's supposed to have done in the preseason and the first couple of EFL games. So I can see Collingwood persisting with him. I'm hoping Brockman plays. I don't like do not playing players on the bench. He's only made something like 40k or 50k. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, so he hasn't made much money, and I prefer him to play. So I'm hoping the Hawks start playing him. I think he did quite well. He kicked a couple of goals in the VFL this week, so we'll see how it goes. He's not in my trade plans anyway, so there's no point. Yeah, bloody Gawn. I swear. I guess he's got to have one bad game, but a 63 is just not fun. He last week, I think North's combination of Goldie Campbell didn't help because it made Luke Jackson play a lot more midfield than what he should have. But I was reading somewhere where that Gawn played about 55% mid-time and then rotated forward or back, and then Jackson covered the rest. So it could be a bit alarming for his scoring. Melbourne might enjoy Gawn playing in a different position to cover up spots. Obviously, it's not Supercoach relevant, but Melbourne doesn't really care about what Gawn scores in Supercoach. So he could end up dropping a couple of sub-hundreds again. So you'd be careful about putting him as your captain. Obviously, you've got to keep him now, but he could drop some extra scoring. So you just got to be careful. In the forward line, Zeeble was fine. No complaints. Bit annoyed I brought Zorko in last week. I could have gone for Brayshaw and then picked up Zorko again this week, and I would have banked another 30 or 40 points. So it's a bit annoying, but what can you do, guys? Impey was okay. The difference between his Supercoach and his AFL fantasy score was about 40. So imagine him being on 110 this week. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe he kicked a few clangers or to other players, but he should be okay. Kept Warner in, and then Rowe and McCreary. So I had some cover. I didn't get a donut this week, which is nice, but with Gawn's score being a captain, I missed out on a lot of points if I'd gone Grundy instead. So we just forget about this week. This week's done. Whatever. Worse score than what I got at the start of the round. At the start of the season, but what can you do? McCreary is looking like a really good option. I think he's still got cash to make. I can't believe some people don't have him. He kicks goals, he lays a lot of tackles, and he's playing a lot more than just, I'm going to stand in the forward line and kick the goal. He doesn't come very noticed, which I think is probably a good thing, because he doesn't get focus as much. So he'll be there in a transition, in a kick, or pass to someone else. Really good bench rookie. Which obviously we're going to have him on the bench this week, so no complaints. And then we carried Dusty along. I know some people wanted to trade him. He's going to drop cash, let's trade him, whatever. We can pick him up later. And it's like, at this point in time, it's round 8, coming into round 8. You really have to start thinking about who's my set players and who's not. And Dusty's going to be a top 6 to 8 top 6 to 8 forward, so you're going to keep him in your side. Sure, we picked him up at 560. Others are going to pick him up at 430, 440, 450. It sucks, but what can you do? We make up ground in different positions as well, so that's just what happens. So the trades we're going to do this week, the mindset I've got at the moment is, obviously, next week's going to be, we're going to use 2 trades this week, so it's going to be down to 16, and then next week we'll be down to 14, and then I'm basically holding. If I need to do a rookie in for an up-and-coming rookie that's popping 100s, it's fine. If I need to downgrade someone or an injury, it's fine, but I really want to go hard in the buy rounds and then have a lot of trades at the end. Because obviously for content-wise, but in previous years I've found that I've really used a lot of my trades early, and then the last 6 or 7 weeks I've got like 2 trades left, and it doesn't give you that flexibility. And it's been 2 trades without having a good premium on the bench, or at least some decent bench cover. So I'm not stuck with a McRae on the bench, for example, and I'm trying to cover Sam Walsh with McRae's score, because it really hurts. You know, those people that go massive early, they're going to start struggling later on if they've got no trades left. So that's why you really catch up. And top 2k, I mean at the moment, top 1%, you can still make, you know, in the 500s if you want, or even a bit earlier, a bit lower later on. So we'll see how we go. That's the plan anyway. So Dustin Martin comes back in for McCreary, and this week we're going to get rid of Rowe and what did I do? And Goulden, because Goulden's basically bottomed out. I was hoping he would make his break even, this week, but he didn't, and he's just going to start hemorrhaging cash, and I really don't want that to happen. So trading him out, I'm going to move Laird back to the mids, and we're going to pick up Mr. Frederick. I'm hoping that he keeps his spot. If not, it's going to really hurt, but we've got Cozzy anyway, and we're going to end up probably trading Cozzy next week, so we'll see how it goes. His break-even's negative 21, sure, but that's because he's still got the 100 in his scoring, so next week he should be about 280k, and he might have a break-even of 30 or 40, so I think at that point, if I've got bench cover, he's got to go up for someone else. And this week we're going to bring in a guy. So with Supercoach, guys, when you're watching the live scores and everything like that, if you've got a player that you wish you had in your team, that you find yourself saying, damn, whoever, I wish I had you, stop scoring so well. I know Brayshaw's like that for a few people, but this player's like that for me. And he's cheap, well, cheap enough. He's going to make some money, but he's going to be a top 8 in his position. And his job security is really good, and, you know, he's worth the pick for me. So you guys might not like him, but I'm happy with the pick. This week we're going to pick Mr. Atkins. Oh, if I can spell his name right. Cool. Geelong's backline's working out really well. He seems to team up quite nicely with Stewart, and now with Myers in, or Myers out for a little while, hopefully, Atkins might see a bit more of the ball with Tui rotating forward. So he's good for a 90 to 95 average, and in the forward line, even if we look now, like Zeebel's an outlier, but the rest of them basically have that average anyway. So if I can pick him up at 400k now, ideally I would have started him, but, you know, we're not all Jords. We can't see into the future and just be like, whoa, big pick, guys. You know, pick him up when you can. He's going to jump up, he's going to jump up 20 to 30k, depending on what his scoring's like. So if I don't get him now, I'm going to have to get him later on. The forward line's pretty fickle. I think that, like, Zeebel's obviously the top, and maybe like a Dustin Martin if he pulls his finger out, and a couple others. But otherwise, maybe top 3 to 8 or 9 are actually fairly common picks, and they're fairly close. So, you know, if you could have an Atkins, a Hind, Shai Bolton, and a couple of others all fighting for those positions. So as long as you have some of them, it's good. And this week I'm happy to offload Rowe. It means one less shit forward rookie, and, you know, Atkins should score more than Rowe this week. And even if Frederick doesn't play, I still get the 70. I still get the 60 odd from Cozzy. So that's my plans for this week. And I've still got some cash in the bank, which is really nice for next week's trade. So let's go complete trades, and we'll just have a look at how the team's going. So, cool. So, if we just look at the side, let's say we're going to put Scott in. Projector's not too bad. I think Dusty Martin still shows up as not playing because he hasn't been named and he's been injured. So it should jump to something like 2,300. So going into the next few weeks, the plan is basically to hold. I'm looking to upgrade Cozzy and trade with Warner to either bring in a midfielder at around 530 to 540k if I can next week, and then it's basically hold. So that's the plan at the moment. It should work quite well. The fact that I've got Laird DPP means I can keep going in and out, and hopefully the rookies keep playing, which is really nice. So I'm happy. Basically, right now I've got 5 rookies on field, so next week it will drop down to 4. Basically, the 3 amazing rookies, plus like a Collier Dawkins. We'll see how it goes. Or a Poulter. We'll see. I think Collier Dawkins is the way to go. If you watch the Richmond game, it was just like, it just went crazy. So, yeah, that's the trades next week. Looking into the future, what you guys really have to start doing is buckling down on your rookies. Get rid of the rookies on the field. This year, outside of the midfield rookies, the rookies have been really inconsistent. I know some people even jumped on Dev Robertson late, so at 220k. It's an okay pick. He should average at least a 60 every week. But your Rose, your Berries, your Chapmans, I mean Chapman's injured, but all those type of players really need to go. Because I'm not afraid that Scott is going to drop a 20. Whereas Rowe, I'm pulling my hair out. And guys, I don't have a lot of hair. I'm pulling my hair out every week, hoping that he touches the ball. And that's the difference between you moving up in the ranks and you moving down at this point. So get rid of your crappy rookies on the field. I know some people I've seen on Facebook, some teams where guys have got something like 19 trades and 8 rookies on field. I'm just like, what are you guys doing with your teams? Really? What are you guys doing? And some of them don't even have the required players like a Walsh and McRae, Stewart, Lloyd and Ridley in their teams. I'm just like, you guys are really going to fall off later. So plan ahead. Remember, in the buys, we can use 3 trades and just hold. It's okay to have 16 or 14 trades now. We've been hit with carnage. We've been hit with dud rookies and everything like that. But just hold until the buy rounds as much as you can. Aim to finish the buy rounds with, let's say, 5 to 6 trades at least, which is doable. It's pretty easy. But you've really got to shore up your bench rookies as well. So if you've got a lot of duds down here, hopefully Waterman plays, but if you've got a lot of duds in here, a lot of do not playing, you've really got to start looking at, hey, what am I doing with my trades? And even if it means you have to double down to get better rookies in instead of an upgrade. Anyway, let me know how you guys went in the comments. Like, share and subscribe for extra content, and have a nice day, guys. Bye.